All right, as we wrap up 2022 and start the year off in 2023, we brought one of our industry experts in, Mark Salmon. He's with Compass Real Estate. Mark, wild ride for 22, at least throughout the year. Started like a white hot market, then become a seller's market. Where are we going to end up and where do we go forward going from here?
Yeah, Pete, thanks for having me as always. Yeah, it's been super interesting. I mean, nobody knew what to expect coming out of COVID, and obviously the market was extremely robust, and especially in Tahoe, and people were working from home, and interest rates were at all-time lows, and so it was a seller's market, and boy, did it flip on a dime, and we saw interest rates increase 3-4% in a matter of months, and stock market corrections, and people forced back to work, and lots of volatility. So. It's crazy, crazy times, but the news isn't all doomsday. This is a good time to buy, and here's why. A lot of people may argue with that, but there's only 90 single family homes for sale in all of South Lake Tahoe, which is historically low. And interest rates, although they are a little high compared to what they were, 7%, if we ask our parents, that's a pretty darn good rate. And there's tons of products to buy that down for the short term, 3-4%, which is palatable. Let the sellers pay for that. And then, as early as March, they're talking about inflation being under control, interest rates starting to soften. And next thing you know, all the buyers are back and you're competing once again.
7% interest rate. When I moved to Tahoe back in '93, bought my first home, I had an interest rate of 8.5%. My parents had homes back in the 80s at 18% interest rates.
That's right. You and I just talked about that. My parents in '85 bought their home in San Diego, and they were seller carry at 15% interest. And all the sophisticated long-term investor buyers out there, they know that. They've hopefully shared that with their kids, and 7% is not a big deal. But we can get you a lower rate. You got to ask for it. Let the sellers pay for that buy down. It's short-term. Refi out of it in a few years and get a slice of Tahoe now. Why wait if you want to come up and enjoy the mountains?
Yeah, so you talked about buying down a rate, and the sellers often paying for that. Some pretty creative loan packages out there, to go with some of those low inventory of homes on the market right now.
That's right. So a seller, it's like, well, they know unless they get a full price offer within the first couple of weeks, then they've got to be negotiable. We're back to a normal market. They're negotiating 3 to 5% off a list price. So you can either do that or offer the equivalent of that in terms of a buy down. So you may pay $15,000 to $20,000 to help a buyer buy down their interest rate, but there's all kinds of products to, again, it's just for the short term to get you at 3 or 4%, and then that slowly adjusts upwards. But again, within a year or so, you could be refinancing out of that with no prepayment penalty and be in a great position over a 30-year fixed mortgage.
So we're talking about a market where the real estate investment historically over the last 5-6 years has been a really, really good one. We're not like other markets where you can just build and build and build. There's only a number of lots that you can ever build. New construction, it's limited from the TRPA. What suggestions would you have for someone that's looking to, maybe they've been sitting on the fence for a little while or looking to get a home here in Lake Tahoe?
No, it's super smart, because if you look at long-term, to your point in the very beginning there, the long-term growth in Tahoe is off the charts, always been positive, and so it's a good long-term play. And yes, we do have we have a finite supply up here and a scarcity of land. We're not going to be able to make any more. So if you don't get a piece soon, every piece that's left is going to be challenged, topography or this, that, or the other. So get a slice, or we're looking at teardowns in less than 10 years from now, and that'll be your only option to get into Tahoe.
Mark, you represent your clients very, very well. Someone wants to list a property with you. Any suggestions? And obviously you're still taking listings?
Yeah, sellers have been scared, but I think now actually is the time to go ahead and put your house on the market and just be creative like this and offer these programs and options for buyers. But yeah, get a hold of me, Mark at TahoeSalmon.com. You can check out my website, TahoeSalmon.com, or you can reach me out by cell, 530-318-7637.
If you're looking for an agent here in the Lake Tahoe market, none better than Mark Salmon with Compass Real Estate. More of the Tahoe Real Estate Show coming up right after the break.